Hey guys, welcome back. Tisha here, back for what I'm calling a crime segment. I don't know how often I'm going to do these, but I feel like I want to do them more. Y'all might not know this about me, but I'm really into crime. I'm talking about I love watching Criminal Minds and 48 Hours and Forensic Investigation and Crime 360 and all of these different shows that kind of highlight some crimes that have happened. And while in my little deep dive on YouTube, I was reminded today of Brooklyn Sims. Now, I typed in that name on social media and I didn't get as many alerts as I was expecting. So I decided to do a little bit of dive while I was at work. And I would like to talk a little bit about the case today. So, Brooklyn Sims was an 18-year-old woman from Pensacola, Florida. She was known for her smile, her kindness, and her bubbly personality. Her family said that she loved the color purple and pink. She enjoyed spending time with her friends and her family and her 2-year-old daughter. With her being a teen mom, she had a lot of support from her family while she tried to navigate and adjust to being a young mom, as well as work. She did some type of inventory for the local Home Depot. She really was trying to get her life on track so that she would be able to move out on her own and have her own place. So she was in a relationship with her on again, off again boyfriend, Keith, for 3 years. At the time of this incident, she was 18 years old and he was 20, which means they started being involved with one another when she was only 15. That in itself says something to me. Keith was a 20-year-old, or should I say is a 20-year-old man from Carver, Alabama. At the time of this incident, he lived in Alabama. So he would drive an hour, well, over an hour, to come and see Brooklyn and their daughter. Now, they were not together, but they were co-parenting at the time. There were several abuse allegations and cheating allegations made against him. There were reports filed, but when it was time to go before the court, they were dropped. Her brother, Brooklyn Sims' brother, even mentioned that she did report something before. So it's not like there was not knowledge of some DV incidents. At one point, the young lady stayed with him for a little bit, but it did not work. So here we are in August, okay? The time that this event happened. Keith had some pain and noticed that he wasn't feeling well and he was, experiencing pain when he went to the restroom. So he went, got some testing done, went home until they could give him the results. Part of this testing was an STD test. So while he was at work on August 11th, he got a phone call from whatever clinic he went to, letting him know that he tested positive for gonorrhea. Now, rather than finding out if Brooklyn had it, he immediately accused her of giving it to him, even though he admittedly had been sleeping with another woman. Now, he said that he hadn't slept with another woman for a month prior, but let's say that is the case. There are some STIs that lay dormant for some time, and you may not know until later on, and that could have very well been the case for him. But he said he felt like since he slept with her recently, she's the one who gave it to him. So he assumes it's from her, gets angry, and he decides that he's going to kill her. Yes, you heard me right. He wants to kill her. The fact that he doesn't say hurt and he says kill makes me believe that he's a naturally violent person, because would this piss someone off that they got a STD from their partner? Of course it would. I'd be lying if I acted like if that was me and I was in that situation, I wouldn't get mad and want to do something. But my last thought would be to unalive someone for something that is curable. This isn't an infection that has a death sentence. This is something that he can take some antibiotics for and be cured after a week or two, maybe longer. I don't know the time. But the point is, there was some form of treatment for this issue. Go get your medication and just don't sleep with her again. So what he does is he decides he's going to text his mother and tell his mom that he wants to unalive the mother of his daughter. Now, most people would decide that they're going to talk him down, let him know, no, that's not right. You shouldn't do that. It's not that serious. This is a curable thing. We could just get this situation. Let's talk to her. Let's make sure she doesn't have it as well. Let's do any of that. Not his mother. And I use the term mother loosely because any mother who would encourage their child to do something like this is mad, in my opinion, and doesn't deserve to be called a mother. I'll show you what I mean. I found a copy of the text messages that were sent between Keith, a G, I think his last name is a G, and Agee, and his mom, Shirley. It's a little disturbing, you guys, that they so freely spoke about this, but I'm going to go ahead and read it. Now, I'm going to read it the way that it's written. I'm not going to say the curse words, but you'll get the drift. This is Keith. She ain't doing nothing but costing me money and gave me a disease. I'm finna just shoot her. I know, I hate that for, and then it has the daughter's name. But like I said, I can't take it. I don't give a no mo. His mother says, okay. Not no, son, don't do that, but okay. His mom, okay, I'll call you and tell you. MF, if you want to go to jail, I'll tell you when we get close. But if you don't come kill her, you are MF and B. This is the mother telling her son, if you don't kill her, then you're a B. Calling him like, if you don't go through with it, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Why would you say that as a mom? His mom. Don't call Nanny and tell her. She'll try to talk you out of it. Do y'all hear that? She'll try to talk you out of it. So she wanted her son to do this crap. Okay, let me continue. Keith, I ain't even got to tell her why I left. I'm just going to say I got to go to the dentist. Mom, don't even go there. She won't know you left. Don't shoot at my MFing car. I don't want to die. He says, I'm not. She says, wait till I put her out. He says, I was going to wait till she got out. She says, okay. He says, but that's another thing. If she don't get out the car, mama, and I have to drag her out or can't, I'm going to ask you to step out because I'm going to open the door. Just shoot her. Mama, as long as you don't shoot me. Hell, if you're getting off work now, I'll give you the address here and you can ride over here and do it so you don't have to do it in front of your daughter. He says, Kay, send it to me. She says, we just in Pensacola. He says, I'm on the way, send it. She says, hold up, let me get it. Erase the text because I don't want nobody to know I was texting your stupid A. He says, I already deleted mine. Trust me. I ain't going to say S about us even talking today. He says, what's the address? She says, I can't wait to get back to the store to give you the address because you're going to have to shoot me today. I done told you about cussing at me. He says, all I want is the address, mama. I'm done talking. I done talked enough. I know what's going to happen, and I'm okay with that. I done already been thinking it through, and this the only way for me. I don't know why you so quick to start ish with me. Put the S in front of it. But again, must be scared of Brooklyn or something. I don't know. She gonna be on the floor, right? Because he's asking where she's gonna be at because the mom works with her. Here goes his mom, waiting on you. He says, I'm saying I'm going to have to find her in the back or something. She said, nope. He says, okay, stay out of my way. She says, I am. He says, LOL, man. Get off my phone. All I needed was that address. Leave me alone. Finish your work day. And you is to, I forgot, just me. I don't know what that means. So the last thought of her knowing is going to be she effed and the regret in her face will be enough to satisfy me. I don't give a F what she see when she dead. Yes, the F she do. How the F I'ma pick her up when your sorry A trying to go gamble or hang out in Jackson and she don't pick up the phone. Nah, that ain't even gonna fly. She just died before I let, she just finna die before I let that continue. So he basically is over here complaining, saying that he's gonna be happy when he unalives her and he's able to see the regret in her face because he wants her to die. And she can do all these things but not pick up the phone. So he's the one who is upset because she's not answering him and stuff like that. He's allowed to do what he does, but she can't just be done with him. Nah, that ain't gonna fly. She's just gonna die before I let that continue. This is his mom. Okay, whatever. I don't care what you gotta do. I don't give a F because I'm gonna go home today, not hell or to jail, meaning all of this is on you. He said, okay, good for you. She says, okay, then stop texting me. I'm working. Do whatever you want to do. It don't affect me either effing way. What makes this crazier to me is that Brooklyn and his mother had a decent relationship because Sheila was a manager that helped Brooklyn get the job. She even rode with her to work sometimes, which was why she was riding with her this particular day, which is why he said, you know, make sure you let me know where she's at, which is why the mom said, make sure you don't do it while I'm in the car. He started texting his mom at 10 a.m. and the incident didn't happen till after 1. So he had at least 3 hours to calm down. She had at least 3 hours to convince her son not to do this. But that's not what happened. What happens is he leaves work. He goes home, he grabs his firearm, and he drives over an hour and a half to unalive Brooklyn. Let's say she did give him an STD. As I said earlier, it's curable. Gonorrhea is a curable STD. It didn't require all of this. So Friday, August 11th, 2023, at around 1:30, Brooklyn and 2 others were working at a Home Depot when Keith approached. In court testimony, he says, I said, hey, you gave me something. She said, not this again, because he'd been calling her, harassing her, kept saying that. And she already told him, no, she didn't. She didn't want to keep talking about it. So she says, not this again. And he turns around and she turns around and he proceeds to walk away from him. I would have walked away too, because here you are, you don't even live right where I'm working. You come to my job to sit here and try to confront me about something that I already told you that you didn't get from me, number 1. Number 2, this is the place where I work. You can get me fired. Number 3, you're embarrassing me because you're doing this around my coworkers who already know that we have issues. Why add yet another situation to the problem? In his testimony, he says, I've never been so mad in my life. I pulled my firearm from my waistband and I proceeded to shoot Brooklyn. He shot her multiple times along with 2 other employees, one in the hand and one, I believe, was grazed in the back. They survived, but Brooklyn didn't. Now, Keith claimed that the shocking slaughter of Brooklyn was a heat of the moment choice. But texts between him and his mom, which I read earlier, Sheila, proved that this was a planned attack. You don't text all of that, say you're going to kill her, say you can't wait to see what's on her face, say make sure you move and get out the way, mom. Mom says make sure you don't do it in my car with me in it and all that other stuff if this was just not planned. This was a plan. After Keith told his mother he wanted to just shoot Sims, Sheila allegedly egged him on, as I read before, telling him that if he didn't come kill her, he would be a bitch. Quote, that's what it said. Now, I didn't say the word at first, but that's what it said. She then went on to give Sims' location before advising him to erase the incriminating text, because I don't want nobody to know I was texting your stupid A, the exchange shows. Keith runs out the store and a female associate calls 911 to say that they have an active shooter in the Pensacola Home Depot and they need paramedics. The witness says that she heard at least 5 to 6 shots fired. Once again, proving that he wanted to kill this girl. Because if you weren't trying to kill her, you could have shot her one time and kept it moving. But he kept trying to shoot her because he wanted to kill her. She died on the scene. Shortly after, he turns himself in the parking lot. He actually walked towards the police backwards and shirtless, letting them know what he did. They handcuffed him. He was charged and held without bond. They later found the weapon, and they decided to check his phone records and then found out that his mother was involved. What makes this even crazier is that prior to being arrested, his mom attended the balloon release for Brooklyn, knowing that her son killed that girl, and she knew he was going to do it, and she helped him do it. I mean, there she is at the balloon release, interacting with her loved ones when she knew what she did. She thought in her mind that she wasn't going to be arrested and he was going to be the only one arrested, because remember, they were supposed to delete the text messages, and those fools don't realize it can still be traced. So she ends up later on getting charged for principal to first degree murder and also held without bond. So principal first degree murder is basically if a person directly or indirectly assists in the killing of another person, they can be charged as a principal to the crime. A principal is someone who aids and abets in the commission of a crime, or what might commonly be called an accomplice. They call it different things depending on your jurisdiction. Her lawyers tried to make it seem like the text messages were misconstrued, but you all heard what the text messages say. Did that sound to you all like something that was taken out of context? She tried to get out. She was denied, and at this current moment is still awaiting trial. Meanwhile, in December 2023, Keith had his trial where he admitted to killing Brooklyn for giving him an STD. The judge immediately sentenced Keith to life in prison. After deliberating for about 3 hours, the jury found him guilty of first-degree premeditated murder, which carries a mandatory life sentence. He was also found guilty of one of the 2 counts of aggravated battery for injuring the employee during the shooting. Brooklyn Sims, 18, tested negative for gonorrhea in an STD test that was taken just days before the slaying. I'm going to assume that she took this test because she already knew the type of person that she was dealing with, and she was trying to make sure that she was okay. Prosecutors revealed in court Wednesday after the jury found her ex, Keith Agee, guilty of first-degree premeditated murder. I know in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter, but we just wanted to give Miss Sims a little bit of dignity, Assistant State Attorney Bridget Jensen said after handing the judge a copy of the report. His mother, as I said, still hasn't gone to trial. This is sad in so many levels, on so many levels, because the girl didn't do anything wrong. And as I watched various clips of him giving testimony of the day that he decided to kill this young lady, and he spoke about what he did, he seemed to have no remorse while being on the stand. No remorse for killing a young lady that did not even have what you were accusing her of. No remorse for taking away your daughter's mother from her at the young age of her mother 18 and her daughter 2. No remorse for now taking her father away from her because you are going to be locked up for life because of what you did to her mother. No remorse for taking her grandmother away, or her grandmother taking herself away because she assisted you in that. I feel like his mother is just as twisted as him. And my hope is that lady that you see in the thumbnail, that's his mom. My hope is that she gets just as much time as him, because she knew what her son wanted to do. And to make matters worse, knowing what she helped her son do, because not only did she know that he was going to do it, she provided him with the location of where they were going to be, where the young lady was, what the address to the store was. She did all of these things knowing that her son was going to commit this crime. She even said to him at one point, make sure that you don't let Nanny know because she'll try to talk you out of it. So did the mom have a problem with her as well? Because why wouldn't you want Nanny to talk him out of it? It just shows you how twisted this world is and how careful you have to be, because sometimes the people that are closest to you are the ones that mean you the most harm. And it's sad to think that way, but this is a young lady who was not with this man. Did they have times where they were involved with each other sexually? Yes, they did. But that should not result in her being taken from this earth because of being falsely accused of something. And as I said before, even if she did do that to him, even if she did give him an STD, does that mean that she deserved to be killed? You all, let me know your thoughts down below. Until next time.